It is surgery day. We are on our way to the hospital. Thankfully, the hospital is right next door. Super convenient. So that's really great. Yeah. He's carrying my crutches. I'm carrying this huge brace that I have to wear right after all the time. They dropped those off last week, and that's about it for now. I feel pretty good. I don't really feel incredibly nervous. I was just saying to Todd, I feel like I have felt more nervous on the morning of a jiu-jitsu competition. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I'm feeling okay right now. We'll see how I feel once I get in the hospital and I get dressed and everything. Hopefully, I think I'll feel okay. We made it! We just left the hospital on the way home. We live 1 minute away and got some family coming over. How you doing over there?
I'm doing good.
That doesn't sound too promising. I'm doing good. I'm doing great.
I'm just watching the traffic.
I'm so relieved that that's over. I think I feel so good because I'm so relieved that it's over. Everybody was so nice. All of the nurses were so nice, and they just made me feel as comfortable as possible. And I'm just so happy to be going home. Yeah, I can't wait to eat. I'm starving.
She already prepared well in advance.
Starving, yeah. So now the soup will come in handy. So it is just about 24 hours since my surgery. I am doing great. If you're new around here, yesterday I had surgery to repair my hamstring tendons. They all tore away from my pelvic bone. I trained Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and when I was sparring in class, that's how it happened. I got injured about 3.5 weeks ago, had my surgery yesterday, and everything went very smoothly, and I'm feeling really good. The whole process was so smooth. I just feel like it couldn't have gone better. So if you're watching this video, maybe because you are getting surgery soon, I'm gonna give you the lowdown on how it all goes. So I checked into the hospital at 7:30 in the morning, and thankfully the hospital that I had surgery at is literally a 1-minute drive away. It is so close, it is so convenient. So I checked into the hospital and I sat in the waiting area for a little bit. They called me, they came on down, and then they brought my husband and I upstairs to my little room, and I was okay that morning. I was feeling pretty good, and even when I was in the waiting room, like, I felt pretty good, like I was okay. And then as soon as I got taken upstairs and I was in like the actual, you know, main part of the hospital, and I just saw like people in bed and all the monitors, and I heard all of the beeping, and they gave me my bed, I started crying. I was like, Lord, what have I gotten myself into? So I had a little bit of a freak out moment, but I calmed down a little bit once I got dressed and I laid down in the bed. They hooked me up to the machines. A little while later, they put the IV in me, which was super scary because I'm so squeamish, but it actually wasn't as bad as I thought that it was going to be. The nurse was so nice. And then from there on out, it was a little bit of waiting, just kind of talking to different nurses and stuff, giving them all of my medical information. And then a little while later, the doctor came in. He went over every single thing that we had already gone over. Then a little while later, the anesthesiologist came and he laid out everything that was going to happen and everything that he was going to do. And like I said, everybody was so nice. Everybody made me feel so comfortable. When the nurses saw that, I was kind of a baby and I was very scared, super nervous, crying a little bit. Everybody was just so comforting. So from the time that I got taken upstairs and put into my bed to the time that I got taken into surgery was probably like an hour and a half. It really wasn't that long. And within that hour and a half, I was doing so much. When I was getting ready to go into the operating soon, there was this one nurse who was the guy that wheeled me in. He was my absolute favorite. He was so nice. He was so cool. And he was just like, how are you doing? And I was like, I'm really scared. And he was like, okay, what are you scared about? And I was like, everything. And he just laid it all out. He was like, okay, I'm going to tell you exactly what's going to happen. And he just made me feel so much better. He was like, you are so healthy. He was like, we do this every single day. You have absolutely nothing to worry about. We're going to take great care of you and you're going to be fine. And just like his little pep talk, it just made me feel so good. And I turned to my husband and I was like, that's exactly what I needed to hear. So a few minutes later, they wheeled me in and I was still like, just a little upset, super scared. And it's like such a bizarre feeling to be wheeled into the operating room and to see what an operating room looks like. It is so crazy. But I was only awake for a couple of minutes while I was in there. I was still laying in the bed and the nurse that I loved was just comforting me and kind of like rubbing my arm, telling me how well that they're going to take care of me. And right away, I don't know what her title was, but she worked with the anesthesiologist. She gave me her little cocktail that made me relax. I felt it instantly, like within 30 seconds, I was already feeling like a little woozy. They put the mask on me and I was out. The next thing was I woke up in recovery. And the last thing that I remember saying before I went to sleep, it was really funny. So obviously like all the doctors and the nurses, they knew how I got injured through jujitsu. So the nurse that I loved, he was like, listen, he was like, when you wake up from anesthesia, do not be throwing arm bars at us. Do not be putting us in rear naked chokes. And the last thing that I remember saying was something like, oh, you guys better watch out. Like as soon as I wake up, you better watch out. And yeah, they all started laughing and then I was out. And the next thing was I woke up in recovery. When I woke up in the recovery room, I was very tired. I do remember like talking to the nurses and I remember talking to the doctor, but at first it was like really hard to keep my eyes open. And I started feeling like I was really dizzy and I was really nauseous. And I even asked the nurse to get me like a bag that I could throw up in if I had to because I was that nauseous. The physical therapist came in maybe like 10 or 15 minutes after I woke up and he tried to get me to stand up so that I can practice using the crutches going up and down the stairs and stuff. And I was able to stand up and he was like, do you want me to come back later? And I was like, yeah, like I was so dizzy and I was so nauseous. So I just got back into bed. The nurse gave me an anti-nausea medication and she got me water, apple juice, and crackers. And I was telling everybody those saltines were the most delicious thing that I had ever had right after surgery. They were so good. I housed like 4 packets of saltines. They were so good. And after I ate, after I drank, and then obviously with the medication, within like 10 minutes, I was feeling so much better and I haven't been nauseous since. So all was good. Let's see. And then the doctor came in. He told me that everything went according to plan. I remember him calling my husband and then he came in and I got to see him. And I was just, by that time I was talking to all the nurses. I was feeling pretty good. And then a little while later, the PT came back and I got out of bed. I walked all the way down the hallway with the crutches. He taught me how to go up and down the stairs. So by that time, like I was feeling really good. And then they moved me back into my first room. I got dressed. And then pretty much from there on out, I was just waiting to leave. The whole experience was so smooth. It's incredible. It was so smooth. I just feel like it couldn't have gone any better. So how am I feeling? I'm not in any pain. I have not been in any pain since I've woken up from surgery. The only thing I'm taking is Tylenol. I'm taking extra strength every 6 hours just to kind of like stay on top of it. But other than that, like I'm really good. I don't have any pain. I feel just like it's just sore. Like that's really all I'm feeling. Yesterday it felt like a very deep dull ache, but that was the extent of it. And then today it's just sore. But like right now, kind of just laying in my bed, I don't feel anything. I am so grateful for that. I was actually like, because yesterday I was feeling so good, and later in the night, I got really tired and I started getting a headache. So I knew I had to go lay down. And I was almost kind of like scared to go to sleep because I didn't know how I was going to feel in the middle of the night, and I didn't know how I was going to feel today. So I'm so thankful that I feel so great. Like if I didn't have something wrong with my leg, I would feel totally normal. So what I'm really focusing on right now is just resting. I am getting up and I'm moving really well, I think, with the crutches. So I'm getting up and moving every hour or so just to kind of like keep the blood flowing, and I'm drinking a lot of fluids to just help things move right along and get that anesthesia out. So this is what we have going on over here. I have this big brace that wraps around my whole leg. It comes up my hip here and then it wraps around my waist. I have compression socks on. I have my crutches right next to me and an end table with anything that I possibly need right now. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I feel really good. I feel so happy and so relieved that the procedure is over. I had so much anxiety about it. I was so scared, but like I said, everything went well and it was really smooth, and I just feel so relieved that it's over and I'm on the other side, and now just focusing on healing, recovering, and then getting stronger, getting better, and getting back to everything that I love to do. If any of you are watching and you're getting surgery soon, I hope that this video was helpful just so you can have sort of an idea of what's going to happen if this is your first time getting surgery. For whoever is watching and you are getting surgery soon, I pray that everything goes smooth and you have a smooth and quick recovery. And if you have any questions, you can always leave a comment and let me know. So until the next video, I will see you guys next time.